In this video, we'll be looking at the division of labour for A-level economics. The division of labour is when workers are concentrated on a specific task in the production process. As you can see with the images below, these workers have specific jobs. On the second image, there's a big production line, and each worker is focusing on a completely different task. So the origins of the division of labour come from Adam Smith's The Wealth of Nations, published in 1776. He uses the example of a pin factory where divided labour was used. So the workers in the pin factory prior to the division of labour would work separately, assembling a pin from start to finish. However, when the division of labour was implemented, workers within the pin factory were given specific roles within the process of making a pin. And he found that 10 workers could produce up to 48,000 pins per day, which was a massive step up in productivity from the pre-division of labour era. So for example, examples of the division of labour, we've got car manufacturing. Workers are assigned to different tasks. There will be teams dedicated to headlights, specific jobs within the headlight team. There will be teams dedicated to paint, mixing the right paint, finding the right colours, etc. For restaurants, there are workers who cook, take payments, serve food. Among those who cook, they may be responsible for a different aspect of cooking. For example, some people might chop vegetables, some people might fry meat, some people might work on the ovens, etc. Additionally, industries like phone manufacturing requires a number of roles: design, marketing, software, hardware. You'll find that the division of labour is present in basically every industry today. So looking at the advantages and disadvantages of the division of labour, the advantages is that there's less training costs. If we're only training a worker on software, then they don't need to know as much about hardware, marketing, etc. And this obviously saves money. Also, no time is wasted with a worker from moving from machine to machine. You know, if you're producing a full pin like they used to, you'd have to move workstations when you're changing into a different stage of the production process. However, with the division of labour, you can stay at your desk and the half-made pin will just be brought to you. And that means that way more can be outputted. Thirdly, workers can concentrate on jobs that match their skills. So more creative individuals can work on design, and people who like to follow regimented instructions can work in areas like manufacturing. However, despite all these advantages, there are many disadvantages of the division of labour. We'll note three. One is that work becomes repetitive. This may cause increased rates of absenteeism, which is basically when people don't come to work, increased boredom and increase the risks of shirking. Shirking is basically when you maybe slack off work, so you're talking more to colleagues because you've got less motivation. Also, there's the risk of structural unemployment. This is when workers have narrow training, so if they lose their jobs and they're searching for employment elsewhere, they don't have the relevant skills for that employment because they've been trained on such a narrow and niche skill. Thirdly, if one part of the production process fails, for example there's strikes, then the whole production of the product is halted because other employees lack the skills to take over from that very specialised role. So in short, that is the topic of the division of labour for A-level economics.